We are continuing our series on this show with our look at some of the micro parties that are contesting the state election tomorrow, what they stand for, why they're running. We began with the Small Business Party. We've had the Sustainable Australia Party, Socialist Alliance, Keep Sydney Open, the Flux Party, the Australian Conservatives and the Animal Justice Party join us and tell us all about their candidates and what their beliefs are. And today we have the Liberal Democrats of New South Wales with us. Their lead candidate is former Senator David Leyonhjelm. Good morning, David.
Good morning.
Now, your party, I must say, is running some, I suppose, are quite different policies, putting up some quite different issues to a lot of the other parties. We're going to set you off and go right ahead.
All right, thank you for that. So the Liberal Democrats, I've been a senator for the last 5 years, and our proposition is essentially we believe in small government. That means lower taxes, a balanced budget, getting rid of red tape and green tape and the nanny state. Our basic assumption is that our government is our servant, not our master, and it's more often a problem than a solution at the moment, and we want it to return to the situation where it's there to help us, not to make our lives more difficult. So we have quite a range of policies on practically everything to put the government basically back into its box. Get it to the point where, as I said, it's there to help us, not to harm us.
I guess people would be interested to know why you've made the switch from federal to state. What's the reason behind it?
Oh, there's quite a range of reasons, but largely because I was the chair of the Senate inquiry into the nanny state and then into red tape, and over again we would come up against issues that we heard about from in the inquiries, and their origins were in the state government. They came from state governments rather than the federal government, and we could make recommendations to fix them, but we couldn't attack them by altering legislation or anything like that. So I thought, well, look, I might as well go into the state parliament, attack those many state issues, red tape issues, green tape issues that drive people mad, and not have to put up with the Canberra bubble at the same time. I don't like the Canberra bubble very much, and I'm being elected to the New South Wales Parliament, I'll be able to sleep in my own bed every night.
Okay. Tell us about those nanny state issues, the ones that you think drive us all crazy. Give us a few examples.
Well, nanny state is when the government tries to do things to you for your own good. So assisted suicide is a classic. So the government says, well, no, you're allowed to take your own life, but as soon as you're too feeble to end your own life, we know better than you. We're not going to allow you to get somebody to help you to do it. So that's a nanny state issue. Then there are other petty ones like being forced to wear a bicycle helmet. If you're a smoker, it's no longer a matter of secondary smoking for other people, affecting other people. You've got to move away so no one can even smell you. If you're a vapor, the assumption is that there must be something bad about it because all this vapor is coming out, even though it's totally harmless. There's endless issues about where you can drink alcohol, when you can drink alcohol, what kind of alcohol you can drink. There's taxes on gambling, supposedly to make you a better person, except that it never works that way. So it just goes on and on and on. Okay. And the assumption is that the government knows better than you do how to live your life.
All right. Can I obviously pick you up, I'll sort of point you towards one of the policies which is, I guess, a discussion at the moment considering what happened in Christchurch last week, and that's to do with guns in Australia. And you quoted in the Herald today as saying Australians have a right to protect themselves with guns and there should be no prohibitions or special limits on semi-automatic firearms and that people should be able to carry concealed firearms in public for self-defence. So, look, are you saying that, for example, the AR-15 should be available in Australia?
Oh, yes. It used to be before 1996, and it's not the gun that goes and kills people, it's people who kill people.
Yeah, but
so we're in favour of licensing, so to keep guns out of the hands of people who are dangerous. So if you have a violent history, tendencies towards violence, domestic violence, crime, those sorts of things, those sorts of issues should result in you losing the right to use firearms. But once you are a safe person, it doesn't really matter what kind of gun you have. It makes no difference. And in fact,
we do know that those kinds of guns are able to inflict a lot more damage than other guns, and we saw that on Friday. And that fellow wouldn't have been picked up with those regulations that you're talking about there.
Well, I don't know that that's true. I'm not sure that I accept that. But look, let's look at some countries. Everybody says, oh, but look at America, as if there's only two countries in the world, Australia and America. But let's look at a country like Switzerland. You can have semi-automatics in Switzerland. Shooting is a very, very popular sport. It's probably more popular than tennis or golf. There's shooting ranges all over the country. You can have semi-automatics. You can even get full automatics. They are registered, but they have this constant check to ensure that you're not engaged in violent activity. So each time you buy a gun, you have to get verified that the police think you're okay. And yet, Switzerland is a safer country than Australia. So that they work on the assumption that it's the people that matter, it's not the guns that matter. Now, that is the right way to go about it. If you're black, it doesn't mean anything about your propensity to commit crime. If you're Muslim, the same thing. If you're white, the same thing. It's not about the gun, it's about the person. And individuals commit crime.